Alright, so in this video today we got a lot of stuff going on and I'm just going to bring you along for the ride. Whatever I'm working on, you're going to see. We're just going to be hanging out for the next 10-15 minutes or so.
And now, you're watching the If You Had Two Boys, Two Girls, and a They, and they went to the park, how many people are left? 4 of them or none of them? Channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome and thank you so much for joining me yet again on another video. So what we got going on right now at the end of the last video, we finished up on painting the Acura TL. I want to get some of those body panels thrown back on the car just because the car is blown into so many pieces. I want to kind of regroup and reorganize until I figure out what's next to ultimately complete this car and beyond to the next one. We have the mirrors put on, all good, everything 100%. We have every single door handle put back on with all of the lock pieces. There's 2 pieces per handle. We got that looking pretty good, dude. When I'm working in the shop half the time, if Lola's out here, it's hard because she just wants to play, which is all good. It's no problem whatsoever. So I got a good amount of the car put back together. This is how it goes. There you go. So I got a good amount of the car put back together. Now I want to turn my attention. Woo! Garbage driving by. I want to turn my attention to the rear of the car. I'm just gonna get you set right up right there. It's already rolling. Let's get the time lapse going. I gotta get the tail lights put on, those little side lights put on, bumper put on, and rear lip for the arrow put on that I got in the last video. I think I showed that to you the last video. Either way, Lola's waiting. Let's get going. Ready? All right, back to work. Enough playing around. Come on. Alright, so with the Acura TL here, as I was working on it, I was working my way around the car. Obviously, as you saw, we got the trunk all good and finalized. We got the rear bumper all good and finalized. The rear lip is on and everything. Then I had to go pick up Ava from school. Ava, how was school?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
Okay, let you tell them in just 1 second. I gotta tell them what else is going on. So I wanted to start to work on the side skirts, making my way over there, but you can't do the side skirts until the fenders are finalized. Now the fender, long story short, the entire front end needs to be put together. The side skirts need to come on very last. Now, that would just, pretty simple, pretty easy. Why don't you put the front end together? But the problem is we got these headlights right here. I need to sand these down, and I'm going to re-clear coat the headlights to make them look brand new as I'm doing the car and I'm putting stuff back on the car. I want everything to start to look, or I want everything to go back on as fresh as possible. Also, the car right now is so dirty and dusty, man. It's crazy. Just after a couple days, the pollen, like there's like a yellow haze over the entire car. But anyways, so I'm gonna clean it, sand the entire thing down, buff it. So the TL right now, since I'm not going to sand the headlights right now, so I can't put the front end together right now, blah 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 blah, we're gonna go ahead and pull the TL out of there. Then I'm gonna pull the next car in, Ava. What does the next car do?
White car doesn't like a toy bit.
Okay, so we're gonna get the TL pulled out of here, then I'm gonna get the other car pulled in here so you could check it out. It's a pretty cool little gig. Okay, Ava, sit down. Ready?
Uh-huh. Whoa. I'll subscribe. I'll hold it. Okay, guys. This is acting weird. Guys. When you drive, it's bouncing. That's cool. Now we're going to shop. We're going to fix stuff up. Now we're gonna subscribe. Now it's getting bouncy.
So we got a Lincoln Town Car
Daddy,
on hydraulics. So the thing is with this car, this isn't my car, and I'm not extremely familiar with hydraulics. So I just wanted to bump them just a little bit to get a good feel for it. I'm not gonna try to three-wheel it or like hit the switches like crazy. I just wanted to give it a little bit of juice. But let me walk you around the car and then show you what we got going on for this car. It's a cool car. Lincoln Town Car, Orlando dude. It's cool. Good old gig. Ava likes it. It's fun. I appreciate all cars, man. I don't know about you guys, but whatever you're into, I think it's cool. So with this car, the Lolo, the Lincoln Town Car, what we got going on is this little panel fell off. This car is actually a buddy of mine. He asked me if I'd be able to help him with getting this panel back on the car properly so that way it doesn't fall off again. So I'm very familiar with this process, treating it, doing everything that we got to do to get it right. So as you can see, it's right over there, right by Ava's head here. So I'm gonna get it prepped, figure out what we got to do to get this thing back on there and get it done right. This car is pretty crazy, man. What do you guys think about lowriders? I've always wanted to do like a really proper lowrider paint job. Maybe one day. What you think, Ava? So with something like this, I actually learned this from an old school guy. So if you just take a fresh razor blade, super cheap, and you bend it a little bit carefully. So now we got our razor blade and we got it bent, and that's gonna allow one side of the blade to get underneath the car or underneath the tape while you're still able to hold the other side like a handle. So I go nice and slow and easy with something like this because I don't want to scratch the paint anywhere above our line, and I just come and I just start working underneath that glue, just to loosen it up. And again, I don't ever want to go above that tape line because I don't want to scratch anything that's going to be visible. And you'll see when it's all said and done, the way that I'm holding the razor blade, I'm not letting the corner go into the paint, so I shouldn't be scratching the paint at all anyways. But again, it's just something I definitely don't want to even get close to being above that tape line. So as you can see, this takes no time at all. I'm just working nice and slow, massaging this tape away, coming back. And again, I'm able to hold my razor blade like this. That way this sharp edge can get underneath that tape, but my hand is just riding right along that panel. Nice and easy, working it. I know they sell those wheels. I'll finish this up with one of those rubber wheels, but I don't like starting with one of those because it's just a huge mess. I'm talking about one of those eraser wheels. I'll show you in a minute after I get it on the drill, but this is going to get the good bulk of it off. So before we can reinstall that trim piece, we obviously got to get rid of the old tape that had failed before we can replace it with some new 3M, some really good stuff. This clip has been on in real time. I edited it for you for a second, so it's been rolling for about 3 minutes here, and I already got, let me just slice it right here. And I already got a gigantic piece off, a piece that would have took forever if we would have done it any other way. And you can see the inside's nice and smooth. It's not all scored up. Also the panel, the car that's right here, it's not like we've scratched it up or anything either. There's a couple little gouges in here, but that's all good. We can cover them with a little bit of primer or something just to make sure we're not going to have any rust in the future. But I'm just going to go ahead, go along, get rid of the bulk of it, just like I did right here, and then come back with that eraser wheel. So the biggest thing is making sure that both of those surfaces were as clean as possible. As you saw, some of those stains were pretty gnarly on the trim piece, but I wiped it down, cleaned it up, some lacquer thinner, rubbed my finger across it, realized it was smooth and clean and sanitary. I even did a little pull test on the tape before I laid it down, just sticking a piece of double-sided tape on it, pushing it down, and seeing how hard it is to come off, just to confirm the adhesion is going to be good. So I used that, which is 3M double-sided tape, which is similar to what it would have been on here factory, similar to what I pulled off, but what I had actually pulled off is thinner than the 3M tape that I actually put on by half the size. So we're gonna have twice as much grab with this, and I also put some of the 3M gasket and sealant glue. So this will be good. I'm confident that this won't go anywhere. That's about it for this one. So now with the TL, what I have to do is I gotta focus on getting that entire front end assembled like I was talking about just a little bit ago. So I gotta get those headlights clear coated. So let's get this back out of here. Well, I wanna give this a little bit before moving the car around, just to kind of make sure it's good. And then we'll turn our attention back to the TL. Lolo's sick though, man. It'd be cool to have a lowrider build on the channel, right? What I'd want to do is find probably something that somebody else had already kind of built, and then do a lowrider paint job. That'd be cool. That'd be tight. That's crazy, huh? Ava, what you think?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it tipping?
All right, so we are over here in the shop taking a quick break, having a little dance party, and Ava wanted to tell you guys something. Ava, what did you want to tell them?
It's my birthday today. I'm 5 years old.
So do you want people to tell you happy birthday?
Yes.
Down below in the comments?
Yes, and the comments. Tell me happy birthday today, and I'm 5.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Boss!
So this car, let's go ahead and turn our attention to the headlights. I'm gonna sand them down with a 600 grit. I think that should be it. So at this point we're all set up and we are ready to go. So the finish on this, as you can see, it's looking a little bit hazy, but you can't see any kinds of big major scratches in either of them. So what I finished off with was an 800 grit, and I used that, I just did that by hand. I spent a long time with 600 grit getting rid of all of the yellow oxidation until that powder turned white, and then I used a wet sand 800. Now I wouldn't even say that that's the process that you have to use. If I were to do this another day, I might have done them both dry or both wet, or either way. Just do what you feel at the time that you're doing it. So I wanted to get this knocked out. It is getting kind of late in the day, but if I can let these dry overnight, might as well let the parts work while you're sleeping. So if they can dry overnight, in the morning they should be dry enough for me to continue to assemble the car, put everything back together, and start working towards, like I mentioned a little bit ago, getting the Acura TL completely done. Alright, so as you can see, the headlights came out phenomenal. They are looking really good now. The good thing about me getting this done, like I just mentioned a little bit ago, is first thing in the morning here, I will be able to... You trying to get up on the chair or what, man? The first thing in the morning here, I can start to get stuff... What? The first thing in the morning, I can go ahead and get the car put back together, but unfortunately for this video, unfortunately for you, our time is up. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about everything. We put a lot of the car back together. We had the low in here. That car's actually gone. Dude just came and picked it up. So that's all good. Headlights good. Car's coming back together. In the next video, you're just gonna have to make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to see everything else that we have going on. Ava, what? What else? You got anything else for him?
Yes.
You got anything else for him?
Yes.
What?
With some pee-pee. Pee-pee with Susie's.
That's it.
No.
Say bye.
No. Pee-pee and
Come on.
It's so much
Come on.
magic, Daddy.
You're gonna go have cereal with water before bed. Goodbye.